Hello everyone, I'm Prakash Narkade and welcome to my YouTube channel Automation Talks. Today I'm here with one of the interesting video, and then I suppose very few of us might be knowing, or very few of us might be using this particular concept or implementing these concepts into the real test automation when we deal with Tosca. So it is all about events listener in Tosca. Um, so event listener, um, it is very similar to what we do in TestNG listeners. TestNG provides, if you're using Selenium, TestNG provides various listeners where you can, it's basically hooks where we can perform various operations before and after particular steps or particular events. In the similar fashion, event listeners in Tosca basically listens to some events. So TricentisTosca is sending basically some events to wherever you're customizing that. So that is what we are going to talk about. What is this event listeners and how we can customize this event listeners to produce some outputs based on the events. So event listeners in Tosca, they are basically hooks in Tosca that allows you to monitor and react certain events during your test execution. As I said, it is just as simple as some events are happening in Tosca, and say if you want to know or if you want to perform certain actions before or after certain events. Okay, so what are those events that are supported? So the events are pre-test execution, post-test execution, uh, pre-execution of your any test action, or post-execution of your any test actions. Okay, so these events basically allows us as an user to track what is happening before and after these specific set of events. That is before and after your test case execution, before and after your test action execution, or in case there is any error occurs. So these events, these listeners, basically the customization what we're going to talk about, it provides us the way to capture certain logs or certain information based out of your test execution. Now let's see what can be the use case when these events listeners are going to be useful. Okay, so the very favorite a very important one, and my favorite one is the second one what I'll be talking about. But then again, there can be any number of use cases. It is just that I thought of these, but then there can be any number of use cases where you want to do some actions based on certain events. Say you want to do something before your test execution starts, or if you want to do something after your test execution ends. And again, this is something once you implement, it is going to happen automatically across all the tests. Okay, so the very first use case, a custom validation of your test data. So let's say uh, again, this is something very specific to say your project to project or use cases to use cases. But then let's say there is a requirement where you want to validate before you go to your actual test execution. You want to perform certain validations on your test data. Or let's say you're performing okay, you're doing SAP test execution. Before you do SAP test execution, you want to make sure that your SAP system is up. Just an example, right? So let's say you pull the SAP system status via some background APIs, and if that is up, you're doing something, whatever, you're logging the results, or you're terminating the status, you're terminating the test execution there itself if the status is not up, and so on, right? So these are basically hooks. If you want to do anything before and after certain events, okay, we are good with these events listener in Tosca. The second use case will help in terms of reporting. We know that the test engine report, sorry, what I'm talking, the Tosca reports, Tosca provides the capability of generating your PDF reports, your Excel reports, CSV reports. Rather, it's just the same data, but then different formats where you can export it. But then again, the way how you can customize, it's altogether a different tool that Tosca provides the customization with the help of report designer, right? So that is, I mean, something very good. But then again, if I want to do something in my own way, right, so I want to capture the events. Okay, my test execution has started. Okay, my test execution has ended. Okay, there is an issue, I want to log that issue, and then I want to put all this representation somewhere else. Okay, so for performing this logging of your execution results or execution time for each test case or for each test step is something where this Tosca event listeners are going to help us. Okay, so again, this is a custom implementation, where and again, as I said, this is one time implementation where you will define what you want to do, and then once it is implemented, it is gonna get executed before and after. I mean, whatever you define, it is gonna get executed for all the test cases that you are gonna execute. Okay, so I think that is pretty much as a overview of this particular session where I was trying to explain about Tosca event listeners. Okay, but then in my next video I'll talk more about how we can perform this actual customization. Probably I'll not go in much detail in terms of implementing something on top of what on this events, but then I'll be just showing how we can perform some customization. I'll just take one very simple example for that, and then how we can generate this DLL and then put it in this installation directory tbox folders, and then how it works. Okay, so yeah, I think that is pretty much as a part of this introduction video, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.